everyone. Today I'm gonna be telling you guys a story about how a bunch of kids went to summer camp, but it went totally wrong. So let's get started. But first off, do not forget to click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos. And now let's get started. So once upon a time, a group of kids gathered at the bus station with their parents because they're going to camp. They were so excited and just they're looking forward for the adventure ahead. And each one had packed their bags with everything they thought they would need for the 2 week summer camp, because this summer camp is 2 weeks long. And they brought like some bags with all the essentials like sunscreen, bug spray, swimsuits, and plenty of snacks. Just those stuff that you really need in camps. Anyways, they hugged their loved ones goodbye and boarded to the bus because the bus had arrived. So they just, hugged their loved ones, their parents, everyone with them. And yeah, they just left, eager to start their journey. So when they arrived, the camp was in a remote location, surrounded by dense forests and mountains. The air was fresh, the sky was blue, and the sun was shining. Those vibes that you get when you arrive at the camp. Oh my god, it's really just really flattering seeing the sun, the sky clear, and everything. So the campers were full of excitement as they arrived at the campsite and settled into their cabins. However, things started to go wrong from the very first night. And I'll tell you what happened. A heavy storm hit the campsite. That's the worst thing that could happen, causing power outages and flooding. The camp counselors struggled to keep the campers calm and safe. It was very hard, but some of them were frightened and homesick. The situation only worsened as the days went on. The food was in short supply, and the camp's kitchen staff struggled to feed the hungry campers. The facilities were not up to par, and several of the cabins had leaks and mold, so they couldn't really sleep in their cabins because they were just ruined. They had to gather in one cabin or something like that, and everyone got sick, and it was so bad. So the campers had to share bathrooms that were dirty and unsanitary. To make matters worse, a strange illness began to spread among the campers, which caused high fevers and vomiting. Everyone in the camp started to have these symptoms and stuff, so the camp's medical staff was overwhelmed, and the sick campers had to be transferred to a hospital in the nearby town. So the campers who were still healthy were terrified, and the parents of the sick children were frantic with worry. As the days went by, the campers became more and more desperate to go home. They couldn't stay there. It was so bad. The first day was so bad, and all the days were so bad. Just the rainy days, the dirty bathrooms, the hunger, the fever, everything was so bad. So they were really desperate to go home. They were like, I don't want this camp. I just want to go home. But the sick ones were really, worried, and they were badly hurt. So they also wanted to go home, but they also wanted to, get healthy again. So they had lost their enthusiasm for the adventure and just wanted to be safe and comfortable at home. The camp counselors tried to keep the spirits up, but they were overwhelmed and didn't have the resources to address all the issues. They couldn't do any activities or nothing. It was ruined. The whole camp was ruined. The refunds were just ruined. Everything was ruined. That was just a nightmare. Finally, the camp's management decided to end the summer camp early due to the ongoing problems. The parents were called to pick up the children, and the campers were relieved to leave the campsite behind. The summer camp had gone horribly wrong, and the campers were left with a bad experience, and even some of them were really traumatized. But the experience taught them a valuable lesson about the importance of safety, preparedness, and making the best of a bad situation. They returned home with a newfound appreciation of the comfort and safety to their own homes, and a determination to never take them for granted again. So that was a really bad experience. But as the campers arrived back home, they were met with hugs and tears of joy from their bereaved parents. The parents were grateful that their children were safe, and they listened as the campers vented about their harrowing experience. But despite the negative experience, the campers had learned valuable lessons, as I told you guys, and more about resilience and adaptability and the importance of teamwork. They had also made lasting friendships with each other, having gone through the ordeal together. And for the parents of the sick campers, they actually sued the camp's management. They actually filed a lawsuit against the camp's management, alleging negligence and failure to provide adequate care for their children. The case was settled out of court, and the camp's management promised to make improvements to ensure the safety and well-being of future campers. The experience had left a deep impression on the campers and their families, and they would never, ever forget the summer camp gone wrong. But they also knew that they had grown stronger and more resilient because of it, and they were really grateful for the lessons they learned. But here are several ways. I'm gonna tell you now several ways that camp could have been better prepared for the storm that happened, because that's really, I do think like the story is over, but I want to tell you the stuff and some ways that the camp could have been better prepared for the storm, because you guys watching, you may need this in the future. Anyway, first, have an emergency plan in the place. Like, before you go, you have to be well prepared and have an emergency plan. Anyway, the camp should have had a detailed emergency plan in the place that included protocols for dealing, with power outages, floods, and other weather-related emergencies. This plan should have been communicated to staff members, campers, and parents so that everyone was aware of what to do in the event of an emergency. Because when that thing happened, they didn't know what to do. They just hid and they got sick, and everything was so bad, and they literally were dying of hunger. But they didn't actually die; they just were sick, and thankfully they were healed when they were transferred to a hospital. And another way is stock up on supplies. The camp should have stocked up on essential supplies such as food, water, and medical supplies to ensure that they had enough to last through the storm. This would have helped to prevent shortages and ensure that everyone had access to resources they needed during the storm. Also, last but not least, and this is the most important thing, they should have been monitoring weather forecasts regularly in the days leading up to the storm. This would have allowed them to prepare for the storm in advance and to take appropriate action to ensure the safety of campers and staff members, because they just went right into it. They didn't know that the storm was coming. They didn't know that it was gonna happen, so they weren't really prepared, and it was a really bad experience. But as I told you guys, the campers learned a lesson. The management of the camps got what they deserved, and they promised to take care of the next for the future camps. So that's it, guys. That was the story. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and stay safe, everyone. Stay in school and stay safe. All right, I love you all so much, and bye.